I'm ready whenever you guys are. Great. Okay. So I'm Dan. I put it up there just so that you all are aware. Like I was introduced, spend a lot of time in the innovation ecosystem here in Winnipeg. I was originally going to tell a story about how people come to me with bad ideas, but instead I would talk about my own bad ideas. So I spent a lot of time working in the creative industry. A lot of times I look at these things, these apps that are built, and I'm like, man, that was sold for $100 million. I'm going to build the next $100 million app. I'm going to be rich. And when I was a student, I was just graduating from Red River College, and with a couple of friends of mine, I said, let's go into business. And that was either a super foolish idea or the best idea I have ever had. I am not quite sure yet because it's only been about 4 years. We're going into my 4th year now. I have no idea whether it's good or not. So I pulled out my laptop and I started to type, how do I start a business? What do I do? I want to be creative and I want to build these awesome things, but I'm a developer, I can write code, but I don't really know how to start my business. And I went to school to write code, but but now what? So I'm gonna build this awesome thing, and can you believe that's an actual hologram? And man, this technology is going to be just the best. It's gonna be the bee's knees. And I'm gonna have to go out there and I'm gonna have to sell it, and man, everyone's gonna want it. So you go out to these business mixers and you shake people's hands and you say, I'm in business. And other people say, I'm also in business. You should buy from me. And I say, no, you should buy from me. And I fart around at these events and I talk to people and I shake hands and wear a suit every once in a while. I'm actually notoriously bad for not wearing a suit. And I build all this crazy technology, and it's got blockchain, and it's got augmented reality and video games and all the cool things that you can think of and every buzzword that you could imagine to cram into this product because it's going to make me rich. And it doesn't always, but damn it, I got to hire. I can't do this all myself. I am going to grow my team. Success is measured by how many people are going to stand around with me, and we're going to sit and we're going to code, and it's pretty much like a CIA operation down here. We got computers and we're writing code, and our video game is going to be a huge success. But then I realized that I have to make money, and this is about where my budget ran out, and if I had any money left, I would have put a really nice image that I definitely had the Creative Commons rights to use. But it's okay, I'm just gonna keep going. But it turns out that when you build something, people will not just automatically come. They, just because you built this awesome thing, everyone's gonna be quick to tell you that, yeah, man, your technology is amazing, we can definitely see the future. My mom told me it was awesome, but where is everyone? No one's buying anything. And it turns out that your idea is probably shit. And, you need to get out there and you need to hustle. And you learn that just through the hardest way possible, which is by failing over and over and over again. And there isn't possibly enough time in this talk to be able to get that across. But damn it, buy my app. And buy these services because you have this dream and you're building it all the time and you just can't stop going because it's just what drives you, but you can't let your dream die. And it's usually, for me anyways, you get halfway through and you sit there and you reflect on your ideas, you're painting or you're building an app or whatever, and you just can't possibly stand to watch your dream die. And that could have been a picture of me. But it turns out that by just persevering and working and learning and trying to iterate on yourself over and over and over again, that you can actually start to make progress on yourself as a person, because it doesn't just come down to a good idea. You have to be able to execute on it, and you have to be able to realize that you're just so stubborn that you're going to do it again even if you fail. And for me, I realized very quickly that if I had just quit after I had failed the first time, I wouldn't have been able to really find out who I am and figure out myself as a business person, because as a developer, I didn't come with any business experience. So you finally realize that you are stubborn enough to keep going, and you realize that you have this big break. And that's not an inaccurate picture of my computer right now. I have sticky notes everywhere. But after time, you start to realize that you understand who you are more, and who your customer is, and how you can actually start to build your dream and follow it and actually make something of it, because there's more to it than just showing up. You have to be able to execute. And eventually you start to build real holograms. So that first slide that was like, oh my God, it's going to be a hologram. Well, that's a real hologram. That is a hologram that we built. And it was the idea really coming to life. That is something that eventually you can build something and someone will give you money for it. Like, can you believe that someone will give you money for something you can create? I couldn't. So you sit there and you hustle and you iterate and you iterate and you iterate, and it never ends. It turns out that when you're working on your dream and you're trying to build yourself and your idea, and you can't separate yourself from your idea because you've become one entity after all this time, that business just sucks. People don't realize how hard it is to follow your dreams and actually build a company out of it, but when you put all your work into it, eventually it becomes a thing, and hopefully you can follow your dreams and build your future. So thank you.